thing for me is that I learned this lesson in college. Yeah, it took me until college at Dartmouth, an Ivy League school, to recognize this. And I'll tell you the specifics of what happened. I was taking this class on epistemology with a professor called Walter Sinnott Armstrong. He's a big brain. He's out in Duke now, I think. But Walter Sinnott Armstrong was a big brain. He was teaching this class on epistemology, and I was just out of my depth because it was just really a hard class. And so one time I take this paper down to his office hours, right? And I show him the draft of the paper I'm writing. And he's like, oh my God, this is just bullshit, right? And he starts correcting it for me. And he says, well, you should write this and this. And he starts basically like putting in what I should put into the paper, right? And what he expects the paper to include. And so I took the paper back to my dorm room and I stared at the notes, and since I wasn't really competent in the subject matter at that time, but in that first course, which was a high-level course, I looked at this paper, I looked at all the markings, it looked like Greek to me, I had no idea what I was reading, and so I did the simplest thing I could think of. I took his notes and put them verbatim into the paper. I got an A on the paper. Yeah, and it was only then that I realized this. It was this weird secret. I'd spent God knows how long in educational establishments, very good ones, but it was only after I delivered that paper and integrated verbatim Walter Sinnott Armstrong's notes that I understood the purpose of education, or let me phrase that, of the educational establishments that exist today. It's not to learn. It is to give back to the teacher that which he wants to hear. Not more and not less. That's it. Just give him what he wants to hear. Okay? Give him what he wants to hear. Figure out what he wants to hear. And then give it to him. This has served me so well. And it was just, or let me phrase that. It served me well in college, and after college, it served me quite well too. When I stopped in whatever I was doing, and instead of trying to work, instead of trying to reinvent the wheel, instead of trying to really just put my shoulder to it and like lift it up, no. If I just stopped and looked at the person I was working with, I was dealing with, in business, in education, in whatever, and understood what it was that they wanted. Once you figure out what they want and apply it and give it to them, two things happen. Number one, it becomes obvious what you have to do. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. And number two, it becomes easy. It becomes so fucking easy. You just have to stop and figure out what the guy that you're answering to, be it a professor, a boss, a business partner, anybody, what do they want to hear? What do they want to see? You figure that out and you got it made. Yeah. You don't have to learn anything. You just have to give them what they want. And like I said, it's such a simple thing. Education comes from experience. Education comes from learning on your own when you're truly interested. But it's not going to come from any kind of educational establishment. High school, elementary school, college, yeah, sure, here and there you might actually learn something in some class, but for the most part you'll find that you learn stuff, or you really learn stuff on your own. Yeah, when I was a kid, the book that was most important to me was this one-volume Random House encyclopedia. It was this big monster book, okay? And for fun, I would like skim through it because it had this very simple system where basically you open it and it would have a 2-page synthesis of some given topic with diagrams and little notations and stuff like that and a broad overview. I remember reading that book for fun, and that book taught me more than all of high school. I'm not kidding. In history and science and math and everything, I learned so much from that stupid one-volume Random House encyclopedia. Yeah. That was like my real high school. And the high school I went to is just a hassle. And the funny part is that the high school I went to was actually like a prestigious one. Very prestigious one, in fact. Okay? But I didn't learn anything. Yeah. You don't learn in school. If you understand that concept, you who are in school now will do so much better. Your objective in school is to comply with the requirements of your professors. And you comply with the requirements of your professors by telling them what they want to hear. If you tell them what they want to hear, They will give you an A. They are not measuring whether you know anything. They are measuring if you are willing to comply with their requirements. And if you want to step back a little bit and go a little bit macro, this is a terrible thing if you think about it, because it's not just the professors, it's everywhere, where you get ahead by giving people what they want, irrespective of whether it's good or not. That's a terrible thing, because it's basically a society that devolves into hedonism, a culture that is all selfish and narcissistic. It is a horrible thing, but that's the truth. That's the way things are now. And to bitch and moan about it, it's just childish. You gotta work with what you got. And right now, insofar as education is concerned, you don't get ahead by actual learning. You do not get ahead by actual study. You do not get ahead by knowing things and learning things. No. You get ahead by complying.
A few moments later.
Vladimir Putin, he is, for all intents and purposes, what you would call an ethnic nationalist. But he's not an imperialist, the Kiev regime. I'm telling you right now. These people are neo-fascist, neo-Nazis. The West is the one puppeteering Zelensky, right? The Kiev regime also constantly shelling the regions of the Donbass. 16,000 people died after 2015 up until the start of this conflict. 1,000 children or 800 children were killed.
Zelensky's killed. Save Zelensky!
Hello everyone, this is a Fox Hunter. Thank you for sticking till the end of this video. I'm still working on chapter 1 and I should be done soon. I had to put out this quick video to please the almighty YouTube algorithm. But this is a sneak peek to one of the subjects I will be talking about in chapter 1. Gonzalo Lira is a lazy student who took way too many shortcuts in life. Thanks again for watching, and chapter 1 will be out soon. Thank you for your patience. I'm having fun making these videos and I hope you're liking them too. See you soon, bye for now and take care.